and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you like the content, make sure you hit like and subscribe. That'll really help this channel grow. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different just because I've been getting a ton of questions about this guitar here, my Aliexpress Kramer 5150 knockoff. Lo and behold, about this time a year ago, I did a video kind of like this one, and it is by far my most popular video on here, but I seem to be getting just tons of questions, again, about this guitar, if I'm still playing it, if I still like it, if it's still worth the cash to buy one of these and import it. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to provide you guys a little bit of additional information and context on this Aliexpress guitar. So let's go. Okay, so first things first, what is this? Basically in the last video, obviously I went over all the specs on this guitar that I had available at that time, so I'm not going to do that again. I'll leave a card around here somewhere so you guys can check that out if you like. The story behind this is I bought this off of one of those targeted advertising things. I think it was on Facebook for Aliexpress back in, I think it was 2021, early 2021, maybe 2020. And anyway, I saw an image of it. The price looked pretty good. Clicked on it. I'm like, you know what? I can't paint one of these with this kind of quality finish on my own that'll come out this way. So I thought, why don't I just gamble? We're gonna buy it. It's not too expensive. And that's what I did. So order this from Aliexpress. Of course, when you buy one of these on their website, they don't have any logos or anything up on the headstock. I was really disappointed when it showed up and did say Kramer. I mean, because let's be honest, at this point, this is now a counterfeit guitar. I would have preferred if that was just blank. I'll probably leave it like this. So yeah, but just keep in mind, if you do go this route, you will need to be very specific with them and tell them that you do not want them to actually use someone else's trademark logo on the merchandise. Also, as an aside, I didn't have any issues with this, but I have heard that a lot of people do have problems importing these because once customs does take a look at these, if they notice that it's got a trademark brand on it like that, they might just seize the entire shipment of guitars. So be aware, this is counterfeit. Importing it, customs might hold on to it for you, and I'm not exactly sure what the process is to get your cash back if that happens. So best to just try and avoid that situation. So shipping, a lot of people ask me, how long did it take for this guitar to show up after you ordered it? I will tell you right now, I waited a long ass time to get this guitar. I think I ordered this thing in like, I don't know, maybe it was January or February of that year. It didn't show up until I think May. So we're talking a seriously long wait time. I suppose it depends on if they're stock or whether or not they're making these per order. I guess it really just depends, and it's a bit of a gamble. So if you do take this this gamble on an Aliexpress guitar, just do be prepared to wait. Stuff does show up. It just takes a long time. I've got another guitar, another Aliexpress guitar, when it was the exact same story. I ordered these at the same time, and I think they showed up within a week of each other, 4 months later. So they do show up, just they take forever. As far as the actual packaging goes of these things when they ship them, you don't really have much to worry about. It's not the most environmentally friendly packaging. They're not going to send them to you in a cardboard box or something like that. This literally came to me encased in styrofoam. Very safe, very secure. I was expecting, maybe cardboard, something a little bit more, environmentally friendly, but of course this is coming in the cheapest, safest method possible from China. These are inexpensive guitars. So it showed up really, really secure in non-recyclable styrofoam. And I mean, like, it wasn't just in styrofoam, this thing had tape around it everywhere. But again, guitar safe, which is the important part. A lot of you are probably gonna ask this right away. One of my big gripes about this when I got is that it smelled horrible. I don't know if it was just whatever they were using for the clear coat on this thing, but if you smelled it, it just smelled like chemical terribleness, and I'm sure I probably shaved 5 years off my life doing so. Anyway, I'm happy to report that this guitar and my Aliexpress V, that have the Rhodes V, the smell went away. I guess it's been long enough now that the clear coats have cured, and mercifully, they don't stink anymore, so that's a bonus. So since my last video update, there have been no changes as far as the quality of this particular guitar. It's exactly as it was back then. Nothing has gone wrong with it. These are still the stock electronics. I still like the way they sound. They sound fine. The only thing that was terrible when I got it, that had to be changed, of course, was the bridge. As you can see here, I've got a Floyd Rose Special on here. If you do buy one of these, that is going to be mandatory. The bridges that come on these are very, very cheap, terrible steel. The knife edges will dull within 2 or 3 dives. You'll have just a heck of a time trying to ever get it to return back to pitch, which is why this one ended up with the Floyd Rose Special on here. These aren't too expensive. I mean, realistically, it's about 1/3 the price of the guitar, so in comparison, it's a good chunk of change. But you know what, if you're just looking for something that looks the part, one of these bridges will go a long way, and you'll be playing one of these without much of an issue at all. 100% for certain, though, you will need to change that bridge if you intend to play one of these guitars, because it is just plain poop. It's a horrible bridge. Update on the neck. interestingly, I got a lot of information from my last video, just from the comments section here. A lot of you guys are, I guess, real aficionados with old Mighty Mites and old boogie bodies and stuff like that, the kind of thing that Ed would have been using with his guitars. And I was kind of going on that the radius on this is interesting because it tapers, but it's not like a compound radius fretboard you'd find on a modern Jackson or something, you know, where it starts off as a bit more of a curved radius up here and gets flatter as you get down here and shred. This is kind of the opposite, whereas if you flip it over, it starts off kind of, you know, nice, usual kind of C shape here, and then it gets flatter, but it's getting flatter and thinner, I don't know if you can see that, as you get up the neck on the back. Apparently Mighty Mite used to do this back in, I think, the 70s or 80s, according to some of you guys. Again, I'm not 100% certain if that's accurate, so, you know, of course, just leave me comments below if you know for sure. But so it's really different. Apparently, this is precedented, though, and I'll be honest with you, my hand's gotten kind of used to it over the last year. So, yeah, it's not bad. Different, but it works. Electronics, let's talk about this. Again, when I bought this guitar, it showed up. I don't mind the sound of this humbucker. These pots aren't scratchy, they're fine. I've got no problem with the electronics. I'm not going to change them. They sound perfectly fine for what I'm using them for. I mean, I'm going through, you know, usually high gain amps, and I'm hitting that with, you know, like a tube screamer or something. So I'm getting the sounds I need out of this humbucker. The only thing, again, that you do for sure need to change is just the bridge. But surprisingly, Aliexpress electronics, not too bad. Okay, playability. I'll tell you right now, when I first got this, and in the last video, obviously, the bridge was already changed. The playability on this guitar out of the box wasn't bad. The frets weren't sharp. Nothing was weird. And anyway, I keep all my guitars in humidity controlled environment in my basement here. As you can probably see, there's a ton of guitars back there. And anyway, things have been good. It's still very stable. Tuning stability is good. I haven't had any issues with the neck. No sharp fret ends, nothing weird like that. I have heard some just absolute nightmare stories in the comments from the last video of people that would have these and then they'd have the fretboards. I don't know if you can see that here, where the fingerboard would actually start to peel away from the neck. I haven't had any issues like that with the adhesive, knock on wood. Let's hope that's wood. And yeah, hopefully I don't see that in the future. But again, this is a humidity controlled room, which I'm sure plays a good part in all of these glues maintaining their lamination. But who knows? I'm not a luthier, so something to be aware of. I've heard it can happen. Hasn't happened to mine. Playability on this is still pretty good. So yeah, I still use it. Which brings me to my final point. Yes, I do still use this guitar. Yes, I still like this guitar. Again, I've had it now for over a year. I've always been kind of curious about, you know, the nice EVH versions of this guitar. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. There's a massive difference in quality between these instruments, but those also command, you know, what, double, triple the price of something like this. So for me, it was worth the gamble on a cheaper version. I just wanted something that kind of looks the part, and lucky me, the playability on this is pretty good. I mean, it's not as good as, you know, a Fender manufactured EVH or the 5150 version that they now have on the market, which is gorgeous. But again, that guitar, in my market at least, is like $2,000. I think I paid $300 for this. So yeah, I mean, you definitely get what you pay for, but you're not paying a lot for this. You can really complain that much? Nah, not really. But of course, you know, as with any guitar that is quite clearly a nod to Eddie Van Halen, begs one question that must be answered. One very serious question. One question which will define you as a guitar player. Can you play the solo to Ice Cream Man on this guitar? Let's find out. Anyways, there you have it. Yes, you can play Ice Cream Man with this guitar. Again, it's not a terrible guitar, this one, but I will say that my other one that I did get, and I'll leave a link to that video as well, was an epic piece of shit direct from AliExpress. So hit or miss with these guitars. This one I would say was a hit. Only thing I changed was the bridge. Playability is good, stability is good, sound is pretty good. Construction's okay. I mean, the paint job is, it's better than something I could make, but it's still not great. There's drips and things and all those same issues that I pointed out in the last video. So again, I mean, it's hit or miss, but I'm probably gonna hang on to this one. It suits my purposes. Because again, I like having something like this around if I wanna lay down, you know, a Van Halen track or something, or just need something flashy for a video. This definitely does it. It's pretty darn flamboyant, and you know what? It plays pretty well. So for the $300 plus the bridge I put into it, yeah, I'm pretty much okay and satisfied with this. All right, so there you have it. That is my 1-year candid review of the Knockoff Aliexpress Kramer 5150 EVH guitar thing. I still play it. It's still playing pretty decently, and really it hasn't required any maintenance or work on my end since I changed the bridge. So yeah, A+, pretty okay guitar. I mean, for the $300 I paid for it, I'd say at this point, yeah, probably worth it. Anyway, but that's all I got for you guys. Hope you found this useful and insightful in some way. If you did, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, help the channel grow a little bit. Thanks. But yeah, that's it. So until next time, just keep on shredding. We'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.